Boom, ba, boom, ba, 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 ba. Okay, champs, what is going on? This is actually the second time that I'm recording this. Guess what happened the first time? I actually hit the record button, and I'm doing this on my phone. And what ended up happening? Hit record, turn the phone around so I could have the main camera on me, and it didn't record. Huh. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about diabetes, and I got my handy dandy notes here because I'm not that cool to remember everything. It actually takes me a lot of work to be able to remember all this stuff. But no, actually, it's a lot of information, so I definitely want to make sure I give you the facts so that you know, whoa, diabetes, no good, no good. And one of the main reasons that I actually want to talk to you guys about diabetes is because in between the years, okay, so right now, and this is actually going into the first fact, is that there's 347 million people in the world that have diabetes. If you actually do the percentages, I actually went in the website that has like the world population. Right now, we're at about 7.3 billion people in the world. If you do the math, it's about roughly 5% of the world population has diabetes right now. Between the years 2020 and 2030, that's going to increment to about 10%. In other words, 1 in every 10 people. So if you are in your workplace and you have 30 people in your office, 3 people out of there are going to have minimum diabetes. For example, right now in my own family, I think about, for example, on my dad's side, that he comes from a family of 11. I know, it's a lot. I always tell my grandma, how did you do it? I don't know how you did it. Okay, but the fact remains, he has 11 or 10 brothers and sisters, and out of all of them, I believe 7 of them have diabetes. So it's very, very prevalent. Okay, so on to the next one is, yes. So by the year 2030, it's going to be the 7th leading cause in the world of deaths. No good. No good. Okay, third fact is that there are 2 main types of diabetes. The first one is type 1, and type 1 is pretty much where your body just doesn't make insulin. And if you're not too familiar, insulin is kind of like the little buddy that latches onto glucose and allows glucose to go into your cells. Glucose is pretty much the fundamental component or product of all of the foods that sometimes words don't come out. What you gonna do, son? Okay, so all the carbs that you eat are reduced to glucose, and glucose is like the form or product that your cells use to produce energy to be able to, move, live, breathe, the whole shebang. It's kind of a good thing. And insulin helps your cells to absorb glucose. So if your cells can't read the insulin or you produce no insulin whatsoever, what ends up happening is that you can't absorb glucose, and then that's where you have too much glucose, or as can't think of the wording, but the industry or in general, everyone says like, oh yes, you have high blood glucose levels or high sugar levels. Well, that's what that means. So with that in mind, type 1, you have no insulin that's produced, and that's mainly in kids, young kids that develop type 1 diabetes. So what ends up happening is, again, no insulin, no glucose in the cells. And type 2 is where you have insulin, but your cells just don't read it. Think of it like this. You go to someone's house, knock, 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 knock. Hello, woohoo, let me in. And they don't let you in. Well, that's pretty much the cell or the person in the house that doesn't let you in because they don't hear you. Same thing. The insulin's knocking. Hello, yoo-hoo, let me in. But cell just doesn't respond. That's type 2 diabetes where, you're not going to let it in. Okay, there's actually a third type of diabetes, and this is going into the fourth fact. That's I always mispronounce this word. Gestational diabetes. Mind you, I'm in Mexico and I'm speaking a lot of Spanish, so sometimes my wording is a little mixed up for my pronunciation. So I'm going to say it like this: gestational diabetes. And this is diabetes that's occurs when women are pregnant. So if you're a guy, if you're a dude, don't worry, because I hope you don't get pregnant. But you will, because whenever your lady gets pregnant, you always say, yes, we're pregnant. No, you're not pregnant. Your lady's pregnant. Okay, that aside. The fifth type, not the fifth type, bleh, the fifth fact is that type 2 diabetes is the most common diabetes. It's actually 90% of the cases that occur of diabetes are type 2 diabetes. And, oh, yes, half of those cases are in children and adolescents. Whoa. Yes, I read that right. Whoa, that's a lot. So it doesn't mean that you have to be old to get diabetes. You can be young now, especially now with the increased obesity. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm in Mexico, and here in Mexico, we have a 32% obesity rate, which means there's a lot of hefty people down here. And obesity is one of like the number one indicators that you're going to get diabetes. So again, and this is going into the final fact, but I'll mention it real quick. Be healthy, be healthy, be healthy. The health cops are gonna be looking after you. All right, so in all seriousness, the sixth fact is that 50 to, wait, did I read that right? Holy crap, that is right. 50 to 80% of diabetes, or cause of death, 50 to 80% of people that have diabetes is cardiovascular disease. So what does that mean? Heart attacks, aneurysms to the brain. That's not good at all. Okay, seventh fact, in 2012, there were 1.5 million deaths directly caused by diabetes. So diabetes can also cause your, not good. Eighth fact, I'm gonna put up 9 fingers, but it's actually 8 fingers for the eighth fact, is that, whoa, 80% of diabetes actually occurs in lower and middle class countries, so pretty much developing countries, because in a lot of the third world countries, a lot of people that have diabetes right now are in retirement age, for example, in the United States. But a lot of countries that are developing, like Mexico, Africa, diabetes is very prevalent, and like I mentioned earlier, in adolescents, and the average age range is actually between 35 to 64. So again, you don't have to be older to develop diabetes. And like I mentioned earlier, yes, a lot of my family members here have diabetes, and one of my uncles just recently was diagnosed, and he's only 45 years old, so he's a young dude. But another thing to keep in mind with that is that he has one Coke every day with like a lot of sweetbread, so kind of, his own fault. Okay, so diabetes is also one of the leading causes of blindness, amputation, and kidney failure. This is the 9th fact. And the main reason for that is because the number one source of filtration in your body is your kidneys. So if you have too much glucose, which is, think of it like this, your kidneys are meant to filter small stuff. And if you put through the filter a lot of big stuff, well, what's gonna happen is it's gonna get clogged, it's gonna be overworked, and it's gonna be, boom. Well, it will cause you pain when they start failing. Usually at the point where your kidneys start hurting, that's pretty much when you have kidney failure and you need a kidney replacement. There's really nothing at that point that you can do. So, amputation, I've actually been one of the direct witnesses of this with my grandfather, who passed away in 2006. He first started off with his foot, where his big toe was amputated, and then afterwards his whole entire foot was amputated. And then after that, he didn't last too long, about 3-4 months. Not good. But one of the main reasons is that it causes necrosis, which is the death of tissue. No good, my friend. No good, no good. And blindness, well, I don't know the exact explanation, but a general explanation would be that pretty much like your blood vessels in your eyes pop. And if I remember correctly, it is due to having a lot of glucose in your blood. And again, because the glucose is really big and the veins in your eyes are really small, what ends up happening? Pop. Too many pops and show me the light, baby. Crap, I can't see the light anymore. Okay, and then after is the final and 10th tip, and this is actually the tip that I'm most excited about, and one of the reasons that I am so much into health is that type 2 diabetes, which again is in 90% of the cases, of diabetes that occur can be prevented with a healthy lifestyle. What does that mean? 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise 3 to 5 days a week with a healthy diet and lots of water. Healthy diet meaning eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, a lot of legumes, which would be like your beans and lentils, a lot of healthy oils like in the avocados and fishes. And speaking of that, I'm gonna make a video about oils, about fats, because a lot of people say, oh, don't eat fat because if you eat fat, you're gonna be fat. No, it's not true. You wanna actually eat fat because there's a lot of good properties for that. And also to explain a little bit more about what types of fats you should be eating. So, type 1 diabetes can't be prevented whatsoever. So you're pretty much screwed if you have that. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. But type 2, which is the most prevalent, and like I mentioned earlier, if you're overweight, if you're obese, then you have a very high chance. No, if I remember correctly, if you're over 35% body fat, you're not going to probably develop diabetes or have some kind of cardiovascular disease. You will have it. I'm talking to you. So I hope that was informational for you guys, and I hope it also gave you like more incentive to holy sweet Jesus. I gotta take care of myself. Cool. So I got some nutrition homework I had to finish up. So just had those thoughts in my mind. Wanted to share with you more great, awesome tips. Like I mentioned, next tip is going to be about. I forgot already. No, actually, it's going to be about oils or fats or healthy fats or how to eat good fat. How to be a healthy fatty. Ooh, I probably should have said that. But it's true. Okay, champs. Talk to you guys next time.